Brother Imran. Pardon me for asking this question. Can you explain in very simple terms the meaning of Yajuj and Majuj as if to a layman? Thank you very much.
Can you give me 1 hour? Yajuj and Majuj, in English Gog and Magog, are explained in a hadith in Sahih Muslim, which is a hadith al-Qudsi, meaning the direct speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says about them, I have created creatures of mine so powerful that none but I can destroy them. These who have been ordained with this literally indestructible power are human beings, not some strange creatures living in the bowel of the earth. They are human beings. The Prophet said that they are from Banu Adam. They are Banu Adam. But the Quran tells us that they use their power to oppress. Whereas Zulqarnain uses his power to punish the oppressor. Surah Al-Kahf. Gog and Magog commit fasad. Fasad is that which corrupts and destroys. The Quran gives us many different forms of fasad. For example, it speaks about the corruption of agriculture, of food, as fasad. And that's what's happening today. Genetically modified food may provide nutrition, but would not function medicinally, because the genetic combination that Allah gave to it has been altered. So then where is the immune system going to get its nourishment from? Are we going to have to go to the pharmacy around the corner to get medicine for our immune system when Allah has provided it in food? So the tampering with the genetic composition of food destroys the capacity of food to function medicinally, which is fasad. And so as we eat this supermarket food, I'm not talking about compound food, supermarket food, you'll notice around the world the immune system growing weaker and weaker. And so the antibiotics prescribed by the doctors have to become stronger and stronger. This corruption and destruction of food is Gog and Magog. The people who met with Zulqarnain and complained to him about Gog and Magog when their wickedness, asked him, could he build a barrier to protect them? And he built it with blocks of iron, and then covered the blocks of iron with molten copper. We actually know where that barrier was built. My book on Gog and Magog outside gives you the analysis by which you can recognize the exact geographical location. So Gog and Magog are from behind that barrier. We also know when the barrier was brought down. I quoted the hadith, today a hole has been made in the wall. When Gog and Magog are released, then the world is going to witness an indestructible power taking control of the world. But it's going to be a wicked power. When we go to Suratul Anbiya of the Quran, we get a second reference to Gog and Magog. That Allah speaks of a town which He destroyed And the people of the town were expelled from the town. And then a ban was placed upon them that they could never return to reclaim that town as their own. They can come back as tourists, but they cannot come back to reclaim the town as their own. Until when? Until two things happen. Number one, Gog and Magog are released. And number two, Gog and Magog spread out in all directions and therefore take control of the world. Power in the world is theirs. They are the world order. At that time, the people of the town will return to reclaim the town as their own. Which town is it? I gave the answer. It's Jerusalem. It's Jerusalem. And I gave the reasons why I came to that conclusion. That's my book outside Jerusalem in the Quran. And so when you see the Jews returning to the Holy Land, to Jerusalem, to reclaim it as their own, you know, Gog and Magog have brought them back. One more hadith and I'll end. Hadith is in Sahih Bukhari. لَيُحَجَّنَّ الْبَيْتِ وَلَيُؤْتَمَرَنَّ. People will continue to perform the Hajj and also the Umrah بَعْدَ خُرُوجِ يَأْجُوجِ وَمَأْجُوجِ. Even after Gog and Magog have been released, the Hajj and the Umrah will still continue. But then the hadith goes on to say لا تقوم الساعة حتى لا يحج. That the last hour will not come until the Hajj is abandoned. If Israel attacks Iran, goodbye to the Hajj. If Israel attacks Iran, goodbye to the Hajj. When the Hajj no longer takes place, how can you say Gog and Magog have not been released? Sorry for the long answer. Any more questions, or shall we call it a night?